Dream Team, it's your boy D Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with weird Australian habits I never realized I had. USA versus Australia. I'm definitely excited to jump right into this. Before we do though, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. What we got, Healthy Emmy?
The word reckon. I freaking love this word. Woo! Hey honeys, it's Emmy. If you're new to the channel, welcome! Come on in, jump on in, the water's warm, the doors are open, let's have a good time. Alright, what am I talking about today? So, today I'm sharing with you guys the Australian habits that I picked up while I was in Australia that I didn't realize. I spent a year of my life in Melbourne, Australia. I learned a lot while I was there, like not to accuse the country of not having dryers.
They got dryers, god dang it, they got dryers.
Apparently they don't like that. But I also learned that I picked up a lot of Australian habits and I didn't realize until I came back to the States and I was making a fool of myself. So today I'm going to share with you guys what those habits were and let's get into it. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram at HealthyEmmy. I reply to every single DM, so you send me a DM, you slide right in, I will slide right back.
Toilet, not bathroom.
First and foremost is the use of the word toilet. In Australia and in England as well, instead of saying bathroom, everybody says toilet. And being a teacher, I would get asked every 7 seconds, Miss, can I go toilet?
Award-winning impression.
And because the word toilet was just the word that was being used, it was the word that I started using. And then I came back to the States, and toilet, it's sort of like, it's just awkward when you use the word toilet in the United States. I don't know, like American people, can you back me up here? Using the word toilet is just weird. I don't know, it just feels weird coming out of your mouth.
I don't know. If somebody say, hey, I'm gonna go to the toilet, I'd be like, it's not awkward, I'd say, but I can back her up and say it's just weird because it's uncommon. That's the word I would use. It's uncommon for someone to say toilet instead of saying bathroom or restroom. And so yeah, just someone say, hey, I'm heading to the toilet, I'd be like, okay. But if somebody say I'm heading to the restroom, it's just more natural here in the US.
United States, but I had gotten so used to using it in Australia that when I came back to the United States and I started using it, people were like, was this girl good? But I'd be in like restaurants and I'd be like, where's the toilet? And they're like, girl's gotta do her business.
Reckon.
The word reckon. I freaking love this word. This word is perfect. Reckon can be used, I feel like sometimes in the South people can use it, but where I'm from, Boston, like reckon, that's not a word. But it's just,
yeah,
it's...
I've heard the word reckon before.
The perfect word. And I was talking to my dad and I was talking about the taxes that I have to pay to Australia. And, oh, side note guys, I got another speeding ticket delivered to my door in Boston today. So, $356. You're welcome, Victoria State Government. And I was talking to my dad about Australian taxes, and I was...
Hold on. How fast was you going? 356, that ain't no cheap fine right there.
It's like, how much do you reckon I'll pay? Before I said it, I was like, I don't want to sound like it. Oh my God, I use the word reckon now, but it's the perfect word. And so I was like, what can I say instead of saying reckon? Thinking to myself like, what's your best conjecture of what the taxes I will pay will be? And I was like, oh my God, I sound like more of an when I say that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going for it. The word reckon is officially in my vocabulary. Thank you, Australia, for having such an incredible word. Honestly, I'm not done with praising the word reckon. It's just perfect. It is a perfect word.
It's a good word. I can rock with that. Walking on the
Along with the driving on the left side of the road in Australia, you also walk to the left of people. So if you're passing somebody in the United States, you would pass them and stay on their right. But in Australia, you would pass them the same way that you drive. So going on my runs, I'd be passing people all the time and I would always move to their left because that's what you do in Australia. It's amazing. I didn't get concussions and broken noses from all the people that I've almost collided into when I came back to the United States, because I was so used to running on the left side of people. And then I came back to the United States and I had to start walking to the right of people. I mean, it would have been a good plan if, like, I don't know, there was a really handsome guy running toward me and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just got back from Australia. Yeah, that never happened.
I don't know, you know, in the great movie Captain America, if you don't watch Captain America, then you're tripping. He always say on your left. He didn't say on your right. He said on your left. But yeah, I run on a treadmill, so I don't jog or walk and pass people often. And when I do pass people, I just go with whatever side look like it's the more open side, or go into that side. So I don't know too much about that one. I guess for joggers and stuff like that, they would know more about that. Bad Wi-Fi.
Going to the Apple store for Wi-Fi. Australia, I love you. I love you. I love you. This has nothing to do with you. It's not you, it's me. And it's my dependency on good Wi-Fi. Because your Wi-Fi, I mean, Australia, listen, you're amazing. Your Wi-Fi? The Wi-Fi in Australia sucks. I'm sorry, I love you, Australia. You're incredible. I'll say it till the cows come home. But the Wi-Fi is a no-go. And so every time I had to upload a YouTube video, upload anything for my program, I would have to drive to the Apple store, and the Apple store was about 45 minutes from where I was.
Good
And
gosh.
I just became, it became part of my schedule. You know, I would go to the Apple store 2 days a week, and it was just part of what I did. And when I came back to the United States and I got all of my videos ready, I was like, okay, and then I have to go to the Apple store. And then I was like, wait a second, I'm a free woman. I don't have to go to the Apple store to use their Wi-Fi anymore. But it had become such a part of my routine that I didn't question anymore, that when I was planning things when I was back home, I was like, I'll go to the Apple store on this day, film on this day, and then I was like, praise the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, and we've heard that in many videos. People talking about the Wi-Fi in Australia. It's just a little bit slower over there. It's not as quick. And that's, I mean, we've seen it, a lot of Australians talk about it in videos. Crosswalk noise.
Relying on the crosswalk noise. Now, I lived in Melbourne. I'm not sure if this is the case in every single city in Australia, but in Melbourne at least, when you are allowed to walk at the crosswalk, when the crossing man comes on and it's safe to cross, there is a sound that you hear. And I had gotten so used to hearing this sound that when I got back to the United States and I was pressing the crosswalk, I was just kind of like standing, looking around, and I would like miss my opportunity to cross because there's no crosswalk noise in the United States. So I'd gotten so used to listening for it, and when you heard the noise, that's when you start to walk. And when I came back to the United States and that was no more, I was not a crossing woman.
I'm thinking about, there are some that have the noise, but there are some that don't have the noise. But I just look either way, noise or not. I'm looking at the sign when it turned green, sprinting across that street. But yeah, she's right. There are some that don't have the noise, but we also have some that do have the crosswalk noise. Driving on it.
Driving. So, of course, we drive on the left side of the road in Australia and we drive on the right side of the road in the United States. Another thing is that the driver's seat is on the other side of the car. So I, over and over again, would walk to the wrong side of the car to get into the driver's seat because I was so used to the driver's seat being on the other side. I also will admit that when I first pulled out onto the road in the United States, let's just say I wasn't on the right side. Ooh. But that took me a little while to start walking to the correct side of the car because I was so used to going to, when you're looking at the car, I was so used to going to the left side of the car to get in, to drive the car. But it's not how we do it in America.
Yeah, that would be something to get used to again.
Tapping my credit card. In the United States, we don't tap. We're not as cool as you, Australia. And the tapping of the card, actually, when I got to Australia, I was like, oh, I don't have that capability because, I don't know, we don't do it in the United States, and I saw everybody else doing it, and I was like, oh, it's probably just like they've activated it in some sense. But my card had the chip, and there was the insert, and so I was just like inserting my card like a crazy person, which I discovered I was. But then I realized, oh my goodness, I can tap my card. So I started tapping my card everywhere. And then when I came back to the United States, I was in the habit of tapping my card, but I had to go back to the old fashioned, insert the chip, type in your PIN like a peasant that I am.
Yeah, we got it now, but we were late to the party. We came late to the party. From the videos I've seen also, it seems like a lot of other countries figured it out before us. We got to the party. We just showed up late, guys. We just showed up late. Now, most places you are able to tap your card.
Making international phone calls. This is one that I learned the hard way that I had picked up on. Hey, does anybody watching this video have Vodafone? Comment below if you have Vodafone. Vodafone rocks. I paid $60 a month for my Vodafone plan in Australia, and I had unlimited international calls. It was sick. And then when I came back to the United States, I don't have unlimited international calls. I actually don't have any international calls. And I was making calls to Australia to sort out my speeding tickets. And in the process of trying to sort out my speeding tickets, I racked up my phone bill with an extra $50 for the 5-minute phone calls that I was making to Australia because I forgot that I didn't have Vodafone anymore. Vodafone rocks.
I've never thought about this. Because I've never had anybody to call out of the United States. So I've never had to make an international phone call. But I just assumed, I guess, that if you pay for an unlimited plan where you get unlimited text, unlimited internet, unlimited phone calls, phone data, all that crap, then I just assumed that international applied to that. Does it, or is there extra charges for, even if you have unlimited everything on your phone plan, is there still extra charges for making an international phone call? That's very interesting. I don't know because I've never had to make one. So now I'm intrigued. And
then the last thing that I think is actually really cool is one of my friends, Lauren, hi Lauren, lives in the UK. Then I moved back to the United States and I hadn't talked to her in a few weeks. And I was back in the United States and we got on a Skype call and she goes, oh my God, your American accent is so thick now. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, that was not the case when you were living in Australia. That was bananas to me that I had subliminally, I was like, I'm talking the same. And have you guys noticed this? Australian viewers, maybe you've noticed it. I don't know if Australian viewers would notice as much because, I'd be speaking more like you. But does anybody, maybe from the UK, somebody who does not have an American or Australian accent, has the way that I've spoken changed from my Australia videos to now? Let me know. I just thought that was so crazy. Alright guys, that's it for the video. If you want more Australian videos, let me know. Leave a comment with what you want. I adore you, and I'll see you in my next one.
I don't know. I watched a couple of other videos, just a couple, but she kind of sounded the same to me. In the other videos, I don't. But in this one, she sounds very American. It's clear as day. I feel like it's very American. But I don't know. I guess I didn't pay attention too much. But from the videos I have reacted to, I would think she sounded the same. That's all we got though. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. It's your boy D Neal. Out.